What's going on, everybody? It's me, Brandon, back again with another episode, and today we are talking about Sonic Shadow Generations. This was a game that I wasn't able to play until the new year, and oh boy, this game easily would have cracked my top 10 favorite games of 2024. So I finally played it. I really enjoyed it. This was something completely fresh and new. I did not expect this in Sonic Shadow Generations. I gotta admit, as you'll see in the video, I really liked Sonic Generations. We're gonna talk about my review that I did. One of the very first What Am I Playing videos was Sonic Generations. So we're gonna talk about that, and we're gonna talk about the brand new experience in this game, which is Shadow Generations. This is what mostly this review will be based on. So please sit back, enjoy. Let's go ahead and get into Sonic Shadow Generations. Sonic Generations is a game I revisit often. In 2022, I officially reviewed the game for the channel as a replay, and it still was that promising adventure through Sonic's best moments through 2D and 3D stages. I said this in my closing comments for my review. In conclusion, all these years later, Sonic Generations is still a fantastic experience for Sonic fans. This game is also the perfect starting point for new fans, as well as it showcases the best of Sonic up until 2011. Sonic is one of my favorite video game characters, and Generations is an anniversary showcase that delivers everything fans want in the series. Sonic has had a bumpy history, but the love and passion put into Sonic Generations show a must-play for Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic Generations was the first thing I wanted to tackle when I bought Sonic and Shadow Generations, simply because I already knew what I was getting into. It was something I hadn't played that long ago. However, Sonic Generations is one half of this package, as Shadow Generations is an entirely new experience, wearing inspirations from Shadow's most significant moments and leaning heavily into Sonic Frontiers for this bold new direction in Shadow Generations. Let's talk about it. Shadow the Hedgehog finally gets another solo experience, and it may be the best Sonic game I've played in a very long time. Shadow Generations was a game I had low expectations going into. Not because it was a Shadow game or another Sonic game. I love the characters and the Sonic video games. I just expected a copy and paste of Sonic Generations in Shadow's shoes. Sure, there is no 2D Shadow conversing with a 3D Shadow, but I expected maybe 9 new stages in a menu with cutscenes stitching the narrative along. But boy oh boy, I was utterly wrong with the direction of this game. For starters, Sonic Generations features a classic Sonic and a modern Sonic helming the story, going back and forth between classic and modern levels within a white hub world, side-scrolling to each new level and challenge. Within Shadow Generations, everything is done with Shadow in his hub world. Still, they completely revamped the hub world into a fully 3D space, inspired by Sonic Frontiers, allowing Shadow to maneuver around at high speeds, solving puzzles, platforming, and completing levels to unlock access to more of the map. The story of Shadow Generations follows Shadow in a sequel to his past adventures and being acquainted with old friends and foes along the way. I was genuinely surprised by how much effort was put into this game. As I said, I did not expect Sega to go this hard on Shadow Generations, but I'm over the moon for what they did here. Shadow is a character that many fans love. He is one of those characters to have that total cool factor if you were born in the mid to late 90s and early 2000s. Shadow was the coolest thing for me as a kid. A darker version of Sonic with a sick black, white, and red color scheme, badass hover boots, and a hedgehog that sometimes wielded a gun. Shadow in many ways as Sonic had a bumpy history with appearances and even his own game where people are indifferent to it. Shadow Generations looks to do nothing more than to make a banger of a Shadow the Hedgehog game, and in my opinion, they completely succeeded here. The gameplay from start to finish for Shadow Generations never stops. In many ways, it feels like Shadow Generations is the best paced Sonic game I've played to date, and it's not even Sonic as the main character. I was amazed that each level has has 2 acts, similar to Sonic Generations. However, as I said earlier, since there's no switching between 2D and modern Sonic, we have simply 2 outstanding Shadow levels each time. I was hooked on these Shadow levels as I had the need for speed while zipping through them. I gotta say, and I may have said this in the previous Sonic video, but Sonic, when it is going well and they nail the speed of each of these levels, it is something that cannot be replicated, and I love it. Throughout Shadow's journey through his past, he gains abilities to maneuver around the hub world and levels, further showcasing just how powerful Shadow the Hedgehog can be. There was so much to unpack with Shadow Generations. The sense of speed, the character treatment of Shadow, and the overall gameplay amazed me with how well done this game was. When Sonic Shadow Generations was announced, I was happy for the simple fact that this game now gets released on modern consoles, and for PC players, we have a brand new port of Sonic Generations that is not a buggy mess. I can't express it though, as I saw this game getting announced, maybe I saw the debut trailer or the announcement, but I had no clue about how in-depth and different Shadow's campaign would be compared to Sonic Generations. I was pleasantly surprised by how Sega went above and beyond to be something special for Sonic fans. Not only is Sonic Shadow Generations a great Sonic game, I also think that it could officially be classified as one of the best Sonic games. Shadow Generations also had a sweet tie-in DLC level with Sonic 3 the movie. Shadow turns into his movie counterpart and has an insanely cool level in Japan with visuals. Keanu Reeves even comes in to voice Shadow as well, and it was awesome. Sonic Shadow Generations is a continued love letter to Sonic fans. The original Sonic Generations is an excellent showcase of Sonic's adventures from the character's inception to about 2011. Sonic Generations remains one of the best Sonic games, with some added features in this new version like finding Chow at each level and other minor edits. Then to now have this included alongside Sonic Generations, Shadow Generations adds another entire game into the mix, featuring the anti-hero Hedgehog in a full-length game with a wonderfully fresh take on Shadow and his story, alongside a massively fun gameplay loop with the inspiration of Sonic Frontiers and the latest improvements to the Sonic franchise. If you are a returning player or a first-time player, I cannot recommend this game enough. It has so much here for everyone, and I haven't stopped thinking about it since I finished it. That's it for this episode today. I really hope you enjoyed it. Sonic Shadow Generations was an awesome game, and Shadow Generations was truly something special. It's not every day we get a really good Sonic game, and for this game to essentially be an exclusive Shadow game next to Sonic Generations, this was amazing. This was a great treat for Sonic fans, and I could not put it down once I started playing. Even getting into the DLC with the Sonic 3 movie DLC, I thought it was incredible. The amount of effort and love put into Shadow Generations is truly something special, and I think Sonic understanding all of its bumpy, turbulent history with the good and the bad games is something really cool, and I do really respect seeing some characters return in Shadow Generations that were from like Shadow the Hedgehog, which I thought was really cool. So I really, again, loved my time with this game. So please let me know in the comments down below if you played Sonic Shadow Generations and what you thought about it. Did you also enjoy Sonic 3? I really loved that movie, and I would love to talk about it more, but maybe I'll make more of movie, video, film topics in the future, but it is something that I really enjoyed, and I'd like to see representation of the Sonic 3 movie in Shadow Generations. I thought that was really cool. So that is it. Please let me know in the comments down below what you thought, and as always, my name is Brandon, and I will see you all next time.